So I've been asked this many times, and I've heard other people ask this countless times, and they've given mealy-mouthed answers, both Roman Catholic and Orthodox. So people have asked me, so you're telling me that no matter what you do, as long as you go to confession and you confess your sins, and the priest puts the, I forget what it's called, it's like basically a long cloth that goes over his shoulders, around his neck and drapes in front of him, puts that over you, makes the sign of the cross. It says, "Arise and sin no more," that these sins are forgotten by me and by God, that those sins are automatically wiped out, and you are basically free from those sins. My answer is yes. So you can go out and murder and rape and steal and kill and rob, and you go to confession and your sins are absolved? Yes. And I turn it around on them. I said, do you mean you could murder and rape and steal and do all this stuff, and then if you convert to Christianity, that God wipes out those sins, that He covers you with the blood of Christ, and that it's as if you're sinless in the eyes of God? Well, that's different. You need a contrite heart. Well, what is penance? Not penance. What is forgiveness? What is confession? You go to confession with a contrite heart, right? How contrite does your heart need to be? Well, that's legalism, right? As long as you go to confession and you have a faith the size of a mustard seed, which was the smallest, it's smaller than a grain of sand, and you cry out, "Abba, Father, forgive me," God is quick to forgive. So when anybody asks you, do you honestly believe that you could do whatever you want? Because it is your will doing it, whatever you want. You go to confession, which is the new man in you, and the priest utters those words and showing that God has forgiven you, not the priest, because you confess to the priest who's a representative of the church, but he's also standing for the church. What shall be bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. What's loosed on earth, what is loosed in heaven. He loosed your sins. You are totally forgiven of those sins? The answer is emphatically absolutely. And if it's anything other than that, then Christ on Calvary dying meant nothing. Because Christ can't save anyone except, those who, in the Mormon belief, you have to be good enough, and then Christ's grace covers that which, you just couldn't do, even though you strived with all your might. No, we're Christians. Christ saved us while we were dead in our sin. And just like St. John and St. James had uttered in their letters, we have an advocate, and we can confess. And when we do sin, we turn back to Christ. And this is why we kneel before the icon of the Incarnation, the icon of the Last Judgment, the icon of Christ, because that's who we are confessing to. When you're confessing to Christ, you're confessing to the Father. He's our advocate, and the priest is a stand-in for the church. So no matter what you have done, and you ask for forgiveness, with a contrite heart, obviously, how contrite do you have to be? It doesn't matter. You're contrite. You're there. Why else would you be there if you didn't believe? Then yes, you are 100% forgiven, as if you had committed no sin in the world. That's why the words, "Go, my brother, and sin no more," and the priest hugs you. Peace to you.